Good evening, ladies and gents. As you are coming in, please raise your hand. And if you can see my screen and hear my voice. Good evening, ladies and gents. As you're coming in, please do raise your hand on the Zoom application. And if you can see my screen and both hear my voice, we're in business. Thank you very much. Evening, ladies and gents. I hope you guys are doing very well. Njabulo Nsibande here, 18 August 2021. JC was broken a little bit. Some crazy volume happening yesterday. I think it was double the prior record, and they had a tough time, adjusting to that and making prices at the open. So it started trading first the opening auction at 2 p.m. And at 2:30, the general market started trading, and I'm sure you guys saw that if you are trading in stocks. But yeah, so I did get stopped on Kumba. Today was ex-div. I did get the dividend though. Yeah. So I got stopped on Kumba. I didn't receive the dividend. I tried to pull my stop loss away to factor in the dividend, but it wasn't far enough. And Hammond, seeing you raising a hand. If you have a question, please pop it in the Q&A box or in the chat box. So if someone can see my screen and hear my voice, please pop me a message on the chat box or Q&A so that I know that we're all good. So that's the only stock that I got stopped out of since last week. It was so Elrich is seeing way. Okay. So once the position has been closed, the dividend tab disappears. But when it's still open, you can see it here on the open trades and the dividend tab. Let me see. I do have a few examples. Xaro is one big one. So I received 144 rand, 133 rand 44 on Xaro. Thank you. We're good. So that's how you see how much dividend you got. But another method you could use is just tracking your balance, how it changed post ex-div. Okay, cool. Coming back to the open positions. Absa moving quite nicely. Nice position of candle there. Was waiting for this break. Just want to move ever so slightly for a break above that level there to add to my position. So it looks like I'll be adding. Excuse me. It looks like I'll be adding to my position tomorrow at the open, and then I'm gonna wait for the 165 level to break. But at this point in time, I'll raise my stop to around that 143 level and add to my position at the open tomorrow. If risk measures allow me to do that. Next is Xaro. Still consolidating. Still, we did find a seller there at around the 304 level. That seller doesn't look. It looks like it doesn't want to go away. But at some point, either the seller runs out of stock to sell or buyers run out of money. Either way, the stock will break. So I'm waiting for the new all-time high close above at 34. Let me see. It's 34.76. So we can get through 34.76, I'll add to my position and trail my stop to just below those lows. They are around that 50-period exponential moving average. Aspa moving quite nicely, approaching the top of the let me just Yeah, there you go. Approaching the top of the current box. So I'm liking how Aspen is moving at the minute. So if you can get through, break into a higher box, I'll add it into my position and throw my stop to just below those lows, around that 175 area, just below those lows there. As soon as we break above that resistance level there. Okay, Bala World forming a nice cup and handle pattern on as Bala World, holding that 50-period exponential moving average as it forms the handle, and classic cup and handle as it retraces two-thirds of that prior rally. So if we get back above that 110 and some change level, let me see what is that close. Above 110.80, I'll add it to my position and raise my stop ever so slightly to just below the 50-day exponential moving average on Balo, and then I'll add again when we break 114, and ultimately the price I'm really waiting for is that 124. Above that 124, we most likely off to the races. BHP, commodity stocks today were hurt quite significantly today. BHP, but also even though it was down quite sharply, holding above the 50-period exponential moving average. So I'm waiting for a close back above that 491.90. Then I will add to my position with a stop loss just below the swing low there, and just below the 50-period exponential moving average. Bitcop. Guys, if you have questions, feel free to pop them in. If they're not time sensitive, I'll pop them through for the end. But if they're specific to the chart that I'm currently on, I'll answer them as we go. Bitcop holding that 50-period exponential moving average quite nicely. I'm just waiting for a close back above the high of that candle there. Above 331.64. If we can get through that level, I'll add to my position and raise my stop to around 310, just below that 50-period exponential moving average, just below that small swing low there. Liking how Bitcop is moving at the minute. Bitvest breaking out quite nicely today. So I'll raise my stop to around that 191.50 and then add to my position on the stock, only if the risk measures allow me to do that. But I'm liking Bitvest at the moment. Capitec making new highs, making a new all-time high. So I will raise my stop to just below those lows there. At to 1688, and then add again to my position, and then I'll wait for the stock to break into the next box. But at the moment, nice break into this higher box. So I'll be raising my stop to 1688 and adding to my position tomorrow at the open. Richmond breaking the 50-period exponential moving average does look like I'm getting stopped probably tomorrow, but we'll wait and see. I'm not going to preempt that. But if I don't get stopped, I'll just wait for a break back above the 188 level. Clicks moving quite nicely, testing the doors of the new box. So if we do get a break above I think it's 305. If we can get a break above 305, I'll add to my position and raise my stop to around 270, 269 there on clicks. Discount Finding some legs again. We did had a break, yeah, we did, but only by a smidgen. Yeah, I'm not overly convinced by that. So I'll just wait for another green close. If we do, I then raise my stop to just below the low of that candle there and add it to my position. But I'm liking this came at the minute. I did get stopped on it and at a fairly decent profit after the rally there, and hopefully we'll see a decent run as the stocks break higher. The general market is looking quite healthy at the moment. Nice pushing off in candle on Disto. Just when I was thinking that Disto is starting to run out of legs, it did run quite a bit over the past year or so. So I did think it's tiring out, but a nice broad cup and handle formation there. Nice pushing off in candle there. You see. Volumes, it's very quite hard to use volume as an indicator, especially on today's trading day, because we traded about 40% of normal trading hours. So so if you can properly break through out of this range or out of this cup and handle, I'll raise my stop to just below the low of that bullish engulfing candle there, just below that 50-period exponential moving average, and then add it to my position. Rather than not add to my position, I'm only going to add to my position once my stop loss is above that last entry point, because start to trade taking bigger risk as this trade cements itself in profitability. And as a giant head and shoulders pattern. Guys, I'm seeing hands being raised. If you have questions, just pop them up in the chat box or the Q&A box in the Zoom application, and then I'll get to your questions. Xyra also looking quite nicely, holding the 50-period exponential moving average recently. It wasn't as hit as the other resources today, which is a good sign. So I'm waiting for a close back above that 185.80, 185.50 level, and then at which point I'll add to my position, raise my stop to around that 171 level on Xyra, and waiting for this for the stock to come back above 185 for some time now. Next is first round, looking fairly quite decent. Again, if I would rather jump back to the weekly chart. So that prior support there, I'm waiting for that prior support to be broken. If it holds as resistance, we'll see. But if it's broken, I'll add to my position. And raise my stop to around the 55 rand level, just below the doji and that bullish engulfing candle there. First round is looking quite decent at the moment. In fact, just about all the banks are looking quite healthy. The banking sector is looking quite healthy at the moment. Xyra also got hits amongst the other resources today, but staying above on the right side of that 50-period exponential moving average. I'll just be waiting for the stock to break back above, what is it? Is it 69? 69 rand 40. Excuse me, 69 rand 40 level. If we can break back above that level, I'll raise my stop to around the 63 rand and some change level, and possibly add to my position. A growth point starting to look fairly healthy. Low volumes coming in at the moment, but that's the nature of consolidation periods. They tend to have lower volumes. So waiting for a break above that 1574 level, that prior high close there, and then I'll add to my position, raising my stop to that 1488 level on growth point, and add to my position. Impala, I'm staying on the right side of the 200-day exponential moving average. Suppose it was hard hit enough over the past week or so. So the market didn't set it off as much as the other resources stocks. Currently staying on the right side of the 200-day exponential moving average. I want it back above 265 as it breaks back above that 50-period exponential moving average. Still quite a bit of tug of war around the 240 level. Buyers and sellers seems to be agreeing on that 240-ish price. So if we can get back above 265, I'll add to my position with a stop loss just below this current swing low there. Of course, if it doesn't get violated. Investec moving quite nicely, added to my position as it broke back above the high points there. This level holding again as support, but most notably today. So as the stock rallies, I'm looking to raise my stop to around that 56 rand level. But we'll see if, in fact, I will have to wait for the close above that 63 rand. And some change level to raise my stop to around that 57 rand, unless of course the market gives me a slightly better level to add to my position. My forecast, my medium term focus on Investec is looking at that 74 rand level. I want to get above that 47 rand level, man. The sky is the limit. As people on Twitter would say, to the moon. Life Healthcare, jump back to the daily chart. I believe we did touch on it. But as I said, I added to my position earlier today when the market reopened. So if we can get close above that 25.74, I'll add again to my position, raising my stop to around the 23 and 40-ish level, just below those lows there. Life Healthcare moving quietly upward. Come back. Momentum, nice symmetrical triangle pattern, but really just these. I'm waiting for a close above that 24 and 40 level. So if we can get it back above 24.40, I'll add it to my position. Not the and then again, if we can get it close through first 2040, I'll add to my position, raise my stop to 1890, and if we can get through 2084, I'll add again to my position, raise my stop to 1925. Just building my my position ever so slightly on momentum. Monday, looks like there's quite a fair bit of selling happening there at the 421-ish level. So if we can, break through and take off, I'll add to my position, raise my stop to around the 395-ish level. Looking quite decent is Monday. Perhaps we'll see that close happening tomorrow. Nice strong break on Mr. Price last bullish off in casual, but I'm already in this position. So next stop is let's zoom in a little bit. Yeah, next stop is these highs. That high close there at 258, closing that gap there. So if you can looking to close a gap, or if we can close back above 258. Above 258, I'll add to my position and raise my stop to just below that bullish engulfing candle there on Mr. Price. I'm liking how Mr. Price is moving. In fact, the entire market is moving is moving like a gem at the minute. MTN, nice. At the back of the trading update, and I was chatting with Chantal Marks. She mentioned that there was. By the way, guys, do check out the podcast. It came out today. I had an interview with Chantal Marks rather of FNB Wealth and Investment, ahead of research there. Moving quite nicely is MTN. It got a stock upgrade from some American. I think as a fund manager or something. But I'm waiting for close through back above that 136.77, at which point I'll add it to my position and raise my stop to around that 117 level. But I want to be cautious on aggressively moving my stop. So I want a fair bit of room, especially considering the fact that I'm in quite a fair bit of profit on MTM, so there's no need to be aggressive on that stop loss. So I'll be giving it a fair bit of room before rushing into to add to my position. I believe it is now the second biggest holding in my portfolio after Distal. Certainly the second biggest in terms of profitability at the moment. Netbank gapped quite sharply. I have no idea why that gap was there, but I'm waiting for close back above 188.32, at which point I'll add to my position with a stop loss just below those lows of that gap there around that 170.85 level. Rocker, looks like there's quite a tug of war happening between buyers and sellers there around that 50-period exponential moving average. Neither group looking to give up at the moment. So let's wait and see if we can close through $100. But I'd rather really wait for a close through 105 to see if the stock is really moving. So if we're going to close above 190, 190, I'll only raise my stop to 97 without necessarily adding to my position, and wait for a break above that 105 and some change level. Medcare, we did touch on it, a position I entered today as it broke out today, rather yesterday, breaking that 1580-ish level. Perhaps 1491 would have been a better stop, but I'm quite comfortable with currently where my stop is. And now, if we can break back above 1680. That last high close there, 1692. Let's just get confirmed. Yeah, 1692. So now let me just lock the line so that it doesn't move. So if you can get through 1692, I'll then add to my position, raising my stop to perhaps around the 15 rand 36. But I'll just wait to see how the market behaves between now and then. And then I'll be looking for swing lows there to add to raise my stop to. Pepco started moving again after bouncing off that 50-period exponential moving average, moving nicely, cementing itself into this new box. So just wait for it now to enter a higher box above 24 rand. I believe we're approaching old highs. We're approaching all-time highs. Yeah, we quite we're quite close to the all-time highs. So yeah, as it breaks back above, and also important to note that golden cross on the weekly chart there, looking to set up. So if we can get through 24 rand and I suppose 25 rand as well, those are areas for me to add to my position. Just scroll. Rumgrow. Moving quite nicely, it broke back above that resistance level there. So now I wanted back above that 110-ish level. 118-ish level, at which point I'll raise my stop to just below the 50-period exponential moving average. But really, the level that I'm really waiting for is a close above that 123 level. Perhaps I should just wait for that level, sort of toying with this position at this point in time. And then when we get through 123, add to my position and raise my stop to just below the 50-period exponential moving average. So I'm moving quite nicely. But I suppose on the back of the MTN announcement, the fintech business joint venture, I suppose, with MTN. So let's wait and see if we can take out what is it, 64.90 level. Let me get the exact number. Yeah, 64.90. Get through 64.90. I'll add to my position and raise my stop, perhaps to just below the candle there, around that 61.30. Perhaps using the twice ATR, or for now just placing it just below that 59 rand. Just below the 200-day exponential moving average, just to give it a little bit more room. As you can see, it's still quite a fair bit of consolidation happening, but if you can break out of this ascending triangle pattern, 84 rand is quite possible over the next few months on Sandler. So the market seems not to have liked the results, which I thought were quite stellar. But the stock looking like it's starting to recover. Perhaps it was the last bit of selling before the stock starts to rally. But really, I'm just going to wait for the close back above the 230 level that I know that we can biz. And then if we can get through 250, then I know that we truly are in business. And that means the results. We were really quite strong, and will power the stock higher. So we did have quite a pullback, a small pullback on Shoprite. Halfway through the current box, and then yesterday we had a strong break on Shoprite. So I added to my position and raised my stop to that 158-ish level. So now I'm gonna then wait for a break above that 173 to see if I can't add to my position and raise my stop accordingly behind me. So Banye, also was not sold off quite sharply like the other resources. So if we break back above 64 rand, I'll add to my position, raising my stop to around that 60 rand level. Today was a weird day in the market. Not much to judge. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Transaction capital, nice bullish engulfing candle after bouncing off the 50-day exponential moving average. I'm really just waiting for the close above the 3840, a level that I was waiting for prior to being stopped out during that consolidation day. So if we can get through that 3840, I'll then add to my position, raise my stop to 35 rand level, at which point my position will then be truly built, and it will then be time for the boxes. In fact, let me draw my boxes now. It looks like we could get that break above 3840 tomorrow. It's quite possible that we get it tomorrow. Just get my box. Yeah. And let's look at the weekly chart quickly. So we are approaching new highs. So break into this higher box will be all-time highs on transaction capital. And when the stock makes all-time highs, man, that's my favorite thing to see. That's the stuff I love to see in a stock. New higher prices. Moody's moving quite nicely, breaking that resistance level there finally. I added to my position. I do expect perhaps a fair bit of consolidation on the stock as it holds that trend line as resistance, at which point if it break back above that 68 rand level, I'll add to my position, raise my stop to below that swing low there. But otherwise, if we don't get a swing low, just add to my position and raise my stop to just below the breaking candle. There's the stock looks to starting to look like it wants to violate that resistance level, but I'll just wait for a close above 68 rand level. And if you look at the weekly charts, that's a level of memory. Nice support level there was 68 rand and some change. What I call moving, finally broken out of this range. It's been in this range for an age now. Broke out, ran quite a bit yesterday. Came back and, like I said, today was a weird day in the market. So stocks moving quite in a weird way, but nonetheless holding the 37 rand level as support again. So we'll see how the stocks behave between now and then. Some have a sneaky target at 185, but not to say that I'm all of a sudden looking to take profits. As you can see, my take profit tab is empty. I only exit my stocks on stop loss. So I ride the trend for as long as as long as I could run it, man. For as long as I could run it. Wood is also moving quite nicely, breaking it back above. After holding that 50. After that nice bullish engulfing candle, breaking back above that 59.99 level. So I'm going to wait for a close above 64.36, at which point I'll add to my position, raising my stop to around the 56 rand level on Woolies. So that's it from me as far as charts are concerned. If there are no questions or chat requests, we can park it here. So I'm going to give it a few seconds, maybe a minute or so, to see if we aren't having questions in the Q&A box or the chat box. Questions or chat requests. Rich is asking on Old Mutual. Let's have a look see on Old Mutual. And I think I got triggered on Old Mutual. I think I got triggered long. And I was doing a rough scan. Yes, nice breakout on Old Mutual. So I will take this position. That's the resistance level there. I will start building my position on Old Mutual, but for now I want to be. Let me just get rid of this one. For now, I want to be. In fact, it's just to have. For now, I want to be conservative with my stop loss. So I will start my stop initially at 1240 or rather at 1270, just to give it a little bit of room. And then if we break back, if we take out that 1470 level, I'll then add to the position, raising my stop to where I truly want to place my stop, just below the 50-day exponential moving average. But for now, I still believe that it's still in quite a bit of range. I'm still fairly range bound, but that level, that 1246 level is a level I'm comfortable withstanding that range. But I think I'm quite convinced that we will break out there. Another stock that you requested was Standard Bank. So Standard Bank, because I already have quite a bit of banks in my portfolio, I resisted the temptation to add as it broke above that 134. It's still quite flat. So for Standard Bank, I'm going to be a little bit strict with it. I wanted about that 142, and then I'll add it to my position. At the moment, it's still a lagger of the banks, but above that 142, and I don't think we're going to have to wait too long. Perhaps over the next week or two, we'll see Standard Bank breaking that 142 level. And then Kumba. Let's look at Kumba. So I got stopped in Kumba on XDiv. Okay. Series is doing weird things. Sorry about that. Let's look at Kumba. So I got stopped on Kumba. Let me just delete Alice. This is quite a tough one, but I'm just gonna wait. Rather than yes, 727. So I'll re-enter above 727 with a stop loss, wherever the swing low ends up at. That's where I'll re-enter there. Anglo-American. I think we have it as Anglo-SA. What did you mean, MPLATs? If you meant MPLATs, also that dividend, the giant dividend, there was a correction on the giant dividend. So for what, waiting for either the 1821, but part of me wants to start rebuilding that position back above. What's this? Okay, let me look for the close of this candle. This is the candle. This is the candle I'm looking at. 1695.90. So if you can back above 1695, start rebuilding my position with a nice tight stop just below that, just below the 200-day exponential moving average around the 1600 level. So I hope you were referring to MPLATs, but if you're looking for, I think Anglo-American, you're looking at MPLATs. There's no more chat requests coming in or questions, so we're gonna park it here. Guys, remember the video will be up in a few hours on YouTube and the VillageTrader YouTube channel. Do subscribe on the channel. I know I owe you guys some technical analysis videos, the daily videos. I've been struggling with my tech recently, and I just need to get that one sorted. Perhaps over the next week or so, I'll start redoing the daily videos, and also time constraints getting in the way. But do subscribe on the channel and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss videos as I pop them in. Perhaps I think from Monday I'll start redoing the videos on a daily basis. Otherwise, you're very welcome, and just Rich, thank you for coming, guys. Otherwise, thank you for coming. I will chat again next week. Have a great day. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have a better day in the market. Cheers.